Exploring the dawn of political parties, the Adams-Jefferson rivalry. The early American Republic was a time of foundational challenges and ideological shaping, with the relationship between Adams and Jefferson standing as a pivotal force. Their partnership and subsequent rivalry encapsulated the emerging political landscape, influencing the course of American democracy and setting the stage for the two-party system. John Adams, a staunch advocate of independence, played a crucial role in the American Revolution and the drafting of foundational documents. His political ideology, deeply rooted in the belief of a strong, centralized government, aimed to ensure the young nation's stability and integrity against internal and external threats. Thomas Jefferson, on the other hand, emerged as a visionary of democracy, championing the ideals of individual liberty and state sovereignty. His contributions were instrumental in the founding of the nation, advocating for a decentralized government that was more responsive to the will of the people. The bond between Adams and Jefferson initially blossomed through mutual respect and shared dedication to American independence. This early friendship, fostered by their collaborative work in the Continental Congress, laid the groundwork for their significant, albeit divergent, impacts on the nation's political development. However, as the new republic began to navigate its own course, ideological differences between the two men started to surface. These differences, initially subtle, would eventually evolve into profound disagreements over the direction of the nation, heralding the first signs of political divergence in the young United States. The American political landscape was significantly shaped by the French Revolution, a catalyst that intensified the ideological rift between John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. While the revolution inspired democratic fervor globally, it also ignited debates over governance and foreign policy, pushing Adams and Jefferson onto divergent paths. In response to the growing political divide, Adams and his supporters formed the Federalist Party. They championed a strong, centralized government, a robust financial system anchored by a national bank, and close ties with Britain. Their vision was of a well-ordered republic led by a meritocratic elite. Thomas Jefferson, alarmed by what he saw as Federalist overreach, countered by establishing the Democratic Republican Party. Advocating for agrarian values, limited government, and closer relations with revolutionary France, Jefferson's party represented the interests of the rural populace and skeptics of urban financial centers. The ideological chasm between the Federalists and Democratic Republicans grew wider over key issues, such as the creation of a national bank, foreign alliances, and the extent of federal power. These debates underscored the first significant political divisions in the young republic, foreshadowing the enduring nature of American partisan conflict. The election of 1796, pitting Adams against Jefferson, marked the first contested American presidential election. It underscored the emergent political fault lines, with Adams winning a narrow victory. This election set the stage for a presidency that would be marred by partisan strife, fundamentally shaping the trajectory of American politics. John Adams's presidency was marked by a growing partisan divide as the nation grappled with its newfound independence and the challenges of governance. His term was characterized by significant political tension as differing visions for America's future began to crystallize, setting the stage for a deeply polarized political landscape. The XYZ affair dramatically influenced public opinion, tilting it against the French and bolstering support for the Federalists. Adams' decision to expose French attempts to bribe American diplomats galvanized nationalistic fervor. This event underscored the fragility of international relations and heightened the stakes of political decision-making in the young republic. The enactment of the Alien and Sedition Acts further deepened the divide between Federalists and Republicans. These laws, seen by many as an overreach of federal authority, aimed to suppress dissent against the government. The Republican backlash was swift, viewing these acts as a direct assault on the principles of free speech and liberty. Thomas Jefferson, envisioning an America rooted in agrarian values and states' rights, stood in stark contrast to Federalist policies. His belief in a decentralized government and the inherent wisdom of the common man fueled his opposition to the Federalists' vision, laying the groundwork for his political philosophy and future presidency. The election of 1800 was a watershed moment in American politics, showcasing the nation's first true test of the peaceful transition of power. This bitterly contested election pitting Adams against Jefferson once more, ultimately resulted in Jefferson's victory and the emergence of the Democratic-Republican Party as a dominant force, marking a pivotal shift in the American political landscape. The peaceful transition of power from Adams to Jefferson marked a pivotal moment in United States history. It was the first time power shifted between political parties, showcasing the strength of the young nation's commitment to democracy and the rule of law. This event set a precedent for future transitions, underscoring the importance of peaceful handovers. The role of the press in early American political parties cannot be understated. Newspapers of the era were fiercely partisan, often serving as mouthpieces for the Federalists or the Democratic Republicans. They played a crucial role in shaping public opinion, mobilizing political support, and intensifying the rivalry between Adams and Jefferson. The Adams-Jefferson correspondence, a series of letters exchanged after their presidencies, highlights a remarkable reconciliation between the two founding fathers. Their discussions reflect deep mutual respect and a shared understanding of their roles in shaping the nation. These letters provide invaluable insights into their personal and political lives, offering a unique glimpse into the early republic. The legacy of the Adams-Jefferson political rivalry significantly influenced American political discourse. Their disagreements laid the foundations for the two-party system, a core feature of American politics that encourages debate and diversity of thought. This rivalry exemplifies how contention and differing visions can ultimately contribute to a more robust democracy. The importance of the two-party system, born from the ideological clashes between Adams and Jefferson, remains a cornerstone of American democracy. It ensures a balance of power and offers citizens distinct choices in governance and policy. This system, despite its challenges, has enabled the United States to adapt and thrive through centuries of change. The evolution of political parties from the era of Adams and Jefferson to modern times underscores the dynamic nature of American democracy. Initially, the Federalists and Democratic Republicans diverged on the role of the federal government, a debate that has morphed over centuries into today's contest between Democrats and Republicans. This evolution reflects the changing needs and ideologies of the American populace, demonstrating the flexibility and resilience of the U.S. political system. Early political factions laid the groundwork for subsequent American political debates, highlighting foundational issues that persist today, such as states' rights versus federal authority and individual liberties versus national security. The ideological battles fought by Adams and Jefferson's followers continue to influence political discourse, proving the enduring relevance of their foundational disagreements. Adams and Jefferson offered contrasting visions of America's future that have shaped the nation's path. Adams, with his preference for a strong centralized government, and Jefferson, envisioning a republic rooted in agrarianism and states' rights, established the philosophical poles that would guide American political thought for generations. These differing visions underscore the diversity of thought that has been a hallmark of American political life. The formation of political parties was deeply influenced by personal beliefs and values. Adams and Jefferson, both deeply principled men, allowed their convictions to guide their political actions and affiliations. This tradition of values-based politics continues to be reflected in the platforms and policies of contemporary political parties, highlighting the personal element in political life. European political thought had a profound influence on both Adams and Jefferson, shaping their ideologies and the nascent American political landscape. The Enlightenment ideas of liberty, democracy, and governance resonated with their visions for the new republic, illustrating the interconnectedness of American and European political developments. This transatlantic exchange of ideas laid the philosophical foundation for the emerging American identity. The Adams-Jefferson relationship holds a significant place in American historical narratives, embodying the complexities of early American politics. Their dynamic, from close allies in the fight for independence to political rivals, illustrates the birth of the nation's political system. Their story is a testament to the diverse perspectives that shaped the United States. Adams and Jefferson's rivalry and eventual reconciliation reflect broader political dynamics that continue to influence American politics. Their ability to overcome deep ideological differences and renew their friendship speaks to the potential for unity amidst political diversity. This enduring lesson highlights the importance of dialogue and respect in democratic discourse. The ideas of Adams and Jefferson remain relevant in contemporary politics, offering insights into the ongoing debate over the balance between federal power and states' rights, as well as individual liberties. Their visions for America, though divergent, collectively underscore the foundational principles that continue to guide the nation. Compromise and conflict were central to the development of American political parties, with Adams and Jefferson at the heart of this evolution. Their disagreements laid the groundwork for a political system that thrives on debate and difference, demonstrating that ideological conflict, when channeled constructively, can contribute to the nation's progress. The presidencies of Adams and Jefferson significantly influenced the direction of the new nation, setting precedents for leadership and governance. Their tenure highlighted the challenges of navigating a fledgling democracy, underscoring the importance of their leadership styles and decisions in shaping the early American Republic. Analyzing the key elections during Adams and Jefferson's era reveals the evolving nature of American democracy. The election of 1796 pitted Adams against Jefferson in a contest that underscored the growing partisan divide. This election, and the subsequent one in 1800, were pivotal, marking the first peaceful transfers of power and setting precedents for electoral conduct and the role of political opposition. The governance challenges faced by the early American political parties were immense. Adams and Jefferson navigated a fledgling nation through foreign threats, domestic dissent, and the absence of established norms for political conduct. Their administrations dealt with issues ranging from the Alien and Sedition Acts to the Louisiana Purchase, demonstrating early tests of constitutional limits and executive power. Adams and Jefferson's influence on American political ideology cannot be overstated. Both brought to the table a rich tapestry of beliefs that shaped the nation's political discourse. Adams' vision emphasized a strong, centralized government to maintain order, while Jefferson advocated for individual liberties and a decentralized government, laying the groundwork for the fundamental ideological divides that persist today. Their contributions to the American constitutional framework were foundational. Adams, with his deep understanding of law and governance, played a crucial role in the drafting of seminal documents and in advocating for a balance of powers. Jefferson's penning of the Declaration of Independence immortalized the principles of liberty and equality, serving as a beacon for the Constitution's framers. Reflecting on their political legacy, it's clear that Adams and Jefferson's ideologies, challenges, and achievements continue to resonate. Their leadership, debates, and resolutions help to define the contours of American political philosophy and governance. The foundational principles they championed remain at the heart of American democracy, underscoring the enduring significance of their contributions to the nation's political fabric. The evolution of political campaigning from the era of Adams and Jefferson to the present day showcases a dramatic transformation. Initially, campaigns were more about personal letters, public speeches, and small gatherings. Today, digital platforms and media play a pivotal role, making campaigns accessible to a broader audience and allowing for instant communication. The role of the vice presidency in the political careers of Adams and Jefferson underscores the position's evolving significance. Initially seen as a consolation prize for the runner-up in presidential elections, it has grown into a critical role in the administration, with vice presidents now actively engaging in governance and policymaking. The importance of letters and written communication in early American politics cannot be overstated. For Adams and Jefferson, letters were not only a means of personal connection, but also a way to discuss and shape the ideological foundations of the new nation. Their correspondence provides invaluable insights into the political and philosophical debates of their time. The leadership styles of Adams and Jefferson had a profound impact on their respective parties. Adams, with his direct approach, often faced criticism for being too blunt or confrontational. Jefferson, on the other hand, was more diplomatic, favoring a more inclusive and consensus-building approach. These styles helped shape the Federalist and Democratic Republican parties' identities. Reflecting on the birth of political parties and its implications for the future of American democracy reveals a system that, while imperfect, has facilitated governance and representation for over 2 centuries. The rivalry and cooperation between Adams and Jefferson set a precedent for political discourse, highlighting the importance of balance, debate, and compromise in shaping a vibrant democracy.